How should you define subscription ARR and calculate it? Let's find out in today's edition of SaaS Metric School. Welcome. My name is Ben Murray. So I did a ton of research on definitions and calculations of ARR. So I just presented at the SaaS Metric Summit on this topic, and I analyzed over 160 public tech company filings to see how they are disclosing and calculating this. Of course, this is optional. It's non-GAAP, but public tech companies are disclosing this, and you're seeing this more in press releases. So now I'm starting to track this in the press releases as well. So I'm going to have a big data set on this coming soon. But after analyzing those public tech company filings, and I had to do this manually, tried ChatGPT AI, just couldn't figure it out because it's just random on how they're defining ARR. So there were three themes, and today let's focus on pure subscription ARR. Of course, I also looked at usage. I just recently posted on definitions of AI ARR, which is really interesting, but pure subscription ARR. So three themes. The most common theme was a run rate MRR. So pretty straightforward. This was the dominant approach in subscription-only companies. And they simply took a snapshot of the latest MRR, or monthly recurring revenue, or some people or some companies did take their quarterly recurring revenue and annualizing this. So simply MRR times 12 or quarterly run rate times 4. So that was the most dominant approach. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do that. The next most common theme, the second theme, was contract value annualized. So this was used by those companies who wanted to reflect the full deal size. So oftentimes they were looking at, say, the TCV of a contract. Maybe there was a 3-year contract and there were step ups. So looking at the TCV, dividing by the term to get kind of that average, you could say, run rate of the ARR in that contract. So they're annualizing that then. So they're looking at more contract based. Now, with this definition, it was often hard to tell, well, was this more of a CAR thing, contracted annual, where maybe not all of this revenue that they're reflecting as ARR has actually pushed into revenue, so that ARR versus CAR concept, but they're doing it based on a contract basis versus pulling it from revenue. And then the next theme, third theme, was committed or contracted ARR. So more of that CAR concept. So they were looking at what they're locked into. What are they locked into delivering in that next year? Now, this was the least common, but it was that forward-looking look at ARR, which gets more into that CAR concept of contracted annual recurring revenue, where we're taking really MRR times 12 at its basic level. And then what contracts have not pushed into revenue yet that I want to take credit for. And usually CAR is a bigger number than ARR. So again, three themes with subscription definitions, and I'm continuing to compile this database of subscription definitions for ARR, and I'll have stuff on usage and AR and AI, but just wanted to set the foundation for ARR, so subscription ARR, because I'm just getting a ton of questions now. Again, you see it's a hot topic in social media, but it is for a reason, because this can be hard. Even subscription ARR can be hard to define. So future post, I'll talk about AI ARR, usage ARR, but today, pure subscription. So if you enjoyed this, I would love a rating and review. It just helps broaden the distribution of the SaaS Metrics School podcast. And if you'd like to stay up to date on events, training, SaaS metrics, templates, make sure you join my SaaS community at the link in the show notes, and also my SaaS newsletter that goes out to 85,000 SaaS operators. So hope to see you soon.